Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Kaden, Custodio of Hartland Football. How's it going, man?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So you just completed your senior season of football. So I know it was not an easy season, but overall it was still a good year.
hmm Yeah, for sure. It was a really good year, I'd say, like you said. Obviously, the record doesn't really reflect that as much, but we made a lot of progress, and I think that's what it's really all about. You could say that as much as you could say that we lost quite a few games, I don't really mind that. I mean, a quote that comes to mind when people talk about that type of stuff is Winston Churchill actually he said that success is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. So, in that sense, I think our team was very successful this year, regardless of what anybody says, just because no matter what happened, we got back up, we kept fighting. No matter what, we did not quit. So,
So going into this year, I know that you kind of, I know coaches kind of talked about this, the building blocks of what he's trying to do at Hartland. What was it like to just have, I mean, obviously he's a familiar face to all of you.
mhm,
Obviously, not much, it's like obviously a lot of the people that were on the previous year were still there, but obviously, he's the head coach and obviously a lot of new faces,
mhm.
in there as well. What was that like to just be a part of Coach Stevenson's first year as head coach?
It was awesome. Coach Stevenson's a great guy, a great coach, great father. It was great to be able to be coached by him, be a part of that first year because I know for a fact that it's going to be something special. It already is special, but it's just going to keep building and building. Like he always says, like you just said, even we were the first building blocks, the first part of it as our senior class, but what do you do with building blocks? You keep stacking them on up and you keep on growing. And that's something that is for sure going to happen with our program with Heartland football. And so it's just I couldn't be happier to be a part of something like that.
Yeah. So going into this, to have, your career at Heartland has had a lot of big wins, a lot of things, of course, obviously going 4-0 against Howell in your career. That probably has to be one of the highlights. But overall, I mean, you know, the thing is, it's like you look back on some of the big wins, and then some of the things. It's like, oh, I wish I could have did that. I mean, what have you had time to reflect back and look back on everything?
Yeah, I've definitely had time to reflect and look back on everything. It's been almost 48 hours at this point, which really isn't a lot of time, obviously, but it's it's been a lot of time just thinking, reflecting, and obviously there's a lot of sadness in that, but at the same time there's a lot of happiness. There's times where I'd be thinking, I was reflecting and just really thinking, man, that kind of sucked. I wish that never happened, but right after I think about that, the next thought would instantly be something good that happened because there was definitely a lot more good than anything. And I mean, talk about what Heartland football has done for me as a person. It has really just it changed me as a person entirely. It's really transformed me, and just being able to reflect on that, it has been awesome. And it was an amazing 4 years at Heartland. So that's all I could really say about that. It was a great time.
What are you gonna most remember about your time?
Well, that's funny. You actually already kind of mentioned it. It's definitely going to be going 4-0 against Howell.
Yeah.
That was a that was a great thing to be able to do, and obviously with Coach Stevenson helping us there too. He made sure that we were all ready this year, got us all mentally prepared, physically prepared, and this year is definitely going to be something that I remember the most too of playing Howell. It's just, yeah, that's something I'm going to be able to look back on for a long time. Going 4-0 against Howell, great feeling. Obviously, there's a lot of not very nice feelings and thoughts between Hartland and Howell. So to be able to say I did that just gives me some nice bragging rights and something I'm very happy about.
Yeah. What does football mean to you?
Well, what does football mean to me? That's a question that I've had to think about a lot recently. And, you know, football means a lot to me in the sense that it's taught me a lot of life skills that you can't really learn from other sports, I feel like. We went through a lot of adversity this year, and football was able to teach me how to overcome adversity and fight through it, how to be a leader. So football means a lot to me, but when I really stop and think about what football means to me, I, I really just think about all my family, my brothers in the locker room with me, because when I think what football means to me, it's really what do all they mean to me? And they mean a lot to me to be able to do the season with them was awesome. I've told them all already, regardless of what our record was this season, regardless of what people are going to say about us, this was a great year, and it's because of those guys in there in that locker room. So football means a whole lot to me.
Yeah. Your your high school football career may be done, but your football
Mhm.
career might not be. What's next?
Yeah, so like you said, my football career is most likely not over. I'm definitely going to be going to college to pursue an education, but I'm also going to be hopefully playing college football because, like I just said, football means way too much to me for me to be able to give it up. So I've already been in the recruiting process and dealing with some of those things. And I'm excited to keep going, keep seeing what else is going to be available for me. So it's going to be, I mean, this past 4 years was amazing and phenomenal. And I look forward to my next 4 years also being just like that.
Yeah. And finally, just one last thing, just
Mhm.
I know it's only been 48 hours as you said, but to know that what do you have to say about your time? Biggest thing that you're going to remember, is it going to be is it going to be weird walking away and all that, and obviously a lot to remember from?
That's a good question. Is it going to be weird walking away from it all? And I think my answer to that's got to be no. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think I'm gonna really walk away from it. I mean, Heartland football to me has meant so much. It's been such a big part of my life. Like I said, it influenced me in ways I never thought possible. And it's not just football. It's Heartland football that really did that for me. So to say I'm gonna just walk away isn't really fair. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, I'm sure that my teammates from this year already know they're not going to be able to get rid of me no matter what, or when. I'm going to end up being there sometime this year for their games, their practices. I mean, I love my teammates too much. I love the program too much. I love the community too much to walk away. So I don't think it's going to be weird walking away just because there's no way I can walk away.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Caden, thanks so much for taking the time to talk, and best of congrats on a great year. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Casey.